Seattle. He's probably going to be calling in from. Yo, did you guys start the game before adding spectators?
We did.
I think that works.
No. Yes, you have to quit. You don't have to remake.
Alright, so thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Or they, I do not have to remake. No, I'm added. I can probably. There you go. I'm in.
Okay, we're cool.
Spectate.
Now just rejoin. Okay, so it looks like we're getting started. I can stop talking so much.
Alright, here we go. Client.
Alright, there we go. And into champion select. That's fine. You guys will win. And the bans we see coming out right away. Cho'Gath targeted at Ken. Irelia targeted at Crayon Box. These are kind of as we expected. Jinx ban coming out against Haney. That's interesting. Jinx has tended to be his backup after Misfortune, but unless they also plan on banning Misfortune, that was definitely the champ that he was planning on playing, so it seems like a bit of a wasted ban. Jax again targeted at Crayon Box, and Corky targeted at Wild Knight. That means we're going to see the legendary Squid from Crazy Jaw. And this is his chance to show the world what he's made of. But we've got a Fizz ban on the other side, keeping it away from Tanuj, forcing him probably under his LeBlanc. We'll see if he has managed to pick up another champion in the meantime. But Wild Knight falls back to his secondary AD carry, Caitlyn. In the couple games that he's played, they've been solid performances, but Caitlyn for him is not really as impactful as his Corky is, so we'll see how well he does. With Crazy John Vel'Koz, it may not matter. On the other side, we have their support player playing Janna. I'm actually not super sure who's supporting this game. I'm guessing it's Richard. Looks like he's remote right now.
Or
As
their
well.
other two players.
They're but Janna and a Mumu being picked up here. That's
Kind of a weird thing.
little bit strange to me.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I mean, they kind of counter each other. Well, never mind. He's not a mover anymore.
Oh yeah, here we go. Volley Bear, we've got that heavy engage and the protective Janna. So they're putting a lot of eggs into the kind of let's protect Amy here basket. Crazy Jaw hovering Poppy, that's a troll. The Crayon Box falls back to his Udyr. That's his comfort champ, that's his bread and butter, that's what he's been running all season. Great success. Let's see how he does against Ken here. Crazy Jaw Vel'Koz, there's not much to say, that's the one champ he knows how to play, so he has to play this game. So, here's the question. What are we picking up for Tanuj and Haney? Haney, if I had to guess, is just going to go with Misfortune. That's what he knows, that's what he's good at. It's a little bit scary with Udyr, though, right?
Who? Misfortune?
Yeah.
I mean, she has her stress, so as long as she doesn't get in range of a stun or get hit by slow by the Vel'Koz, she should be okay, actually.
Yeah, that's probably true. Ash?
Not to mention the changes, just MMF2, I think you can activate your strat with W, so.
You can activate that max speed. Yeah, and that ult means that she can stay really far away from the fight and see what's happening. Here we've got the Ash Hunter, and locked in. So it looks like Misfortune is not going to be played in today's game 1. And LeBlanc for Tanuj, he is bread and butter. We'll see how well he does on it. LeBlanc into Vel'Koz is an interesting matchup. If Vel'Koz can pop LeBlanc up with his E when she comes in, and it's predictable, he wins that trade really, really hard. So it's going to come down to a bit of a skill matchup. Also known on Thresh, his favorite champion. We'll see on Jarvan as well, his favorite champion. So, this is the power of having a lot of very, very threats. The blue team looks like they got basically every single thing that they wanted to play, except for Wild Knight on Caitlyn. So we're for probably a pretty strong performance coming out of here. Purple team on the other hand, let's look at what their team comp looks like. Ken is going into the top lane against Udyr with Panda.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that thing.
Let's see, what would Pantheon? Pantheon would lock them into a lot of AD damage. I don't know how Pantheon Udyr matchup goes. Nasus being on now instead. I don't know, what do you think? Nasus locked in.
It's better pick the Pantheon.
Certainly a better pick than Pantheon, that much is true. I'm a little lost as to what this team composition on the purple side is going for though. They've just got a mix of everything. They've got some dive with Volley Bear, you can do their catches. Assassinate potential with LeBlanc. I mean, I suppose they've got a pretty good pick comp, right? Anytime you have Ash Arrow. The The Nasus is probably just going to be looking far. Crayon Box likes to exert his dominance all over the map once he's dominant advantage in top lane. But you can't really leave Nasus alone with the farm, can
He's
you?
not taking teleport though. So it looks like he's trying to go for the domination over Nasus
Look
over the
at that
game
early
with
kill.
Gray.
Ken is a veteran player that I don't want to have any of that. So we'll see. Well, we've got our team lineups. Whose team do you like better?
Hard to say. What do you think? I think if Purple Team utilizes their catches really well, Ashkelon and Zero, then they can lock someone down, and that person is not going to get away with Janna, Volibear,
Yeah.
like Nasus. They have a lot of slows.
I do like Purple Team. Blue Team's team though. They've got two long-range pokey backliners who are really under not a whole lot of threat from Volibear. And they've also got a very tanky front line.
Velva's
lot of
going to
engagement
rely
potential.
a lot on Thresh and Jarvan on landing their knockups, and Jarvan's ult for doing too much damage because Purple Team could just kite away from him pretty easily.
That's true. Janna does give Purple Team a lot of disengaged potential, and that makes her and Jarvan's lives very difficult. If a brawl were just to break out, I would guess Purple Team is going to win. They have the higher scaling damage and more kind of burst potential. That Nasus is conceivably going to be kind of a nightmare late game.
It looks like Udyr is going to try to shut him down with the other kill though.
Yeah, the missing teleport on Udyr is going to hurt. That means probably a lot of kind of dragon control and map control for Purple Team. That being said though, if Udyr is up top lane, he can push lane very, very quickly. So I don't know. We'll see where this goes. A lot of kind of factors going on there, which is good. You hate to see a team lose and champion select. Spectator really is killing me. We always run out of stuff to say.
Still within 30 seconds.
Tell some jokes. But you'll see me Googling them on my laptop before I tell you.
Oh, here you go, mine.
No, then the stream will see.
No, they won't. They only see what's going past it. I guess they'll
Yeah,
Google.
no, yeah, you're right. You guys want to hear a joke?
Do you know one?
Tony's Nasus. Tony was like a shining beacon of light in that last game on Shen, so I guess we'll give him that one. You're still not allowed to play Shen during HGL. That's not happening. Oh, right. So for all of you new people here, the Rumble has always kind of been a lead up and an introduction for newer players and for people who just get involved. The main kind of league event that we hold here is we participate in the After Hours Gaming League starting in January. So if you newer players are interested and you haven't participated before, definitely stay in touch. We're going to go back to having our bi-weekly Tuesday Land of Legends. So, stay involved, stay in the league community here. We have a lot of fun.
When does it start up again?
HGL?
Yeah.
HGL is not till January. The preseason will start in like November.
Oh, okay. So still quite a while ago. So I could have just sworn it just
Okay,
ended.
and we are going into the game.
Here we go.
Load faster.
Sweet.
I think these laptops are an argument for us needing better hardware as engineers. Just putting that out there in case there are any managers in the audience. All right, guys, let's do that customary thing. If you think the Sonas on the top of the screen and on my left here are going to win, let's hear it for the Sonas. That was bad. All right, and how about the LeBlancs? I think the Sonas had that one.
I think people are cheering for both sides.
Yeah. Nobody likes a wishy-washy cheer. All right, and we are
I think they have a
on
1-1
to
K lead.
the Rift support masteries.
All right.
Okay, let's see what happens here at level 1. Who has the stronger level 1 here, do you think?
Let's see. I think looks like
Neither team's great.
no. I think the Thresh team has a better level 1.
Yeah.
Oh, causes Q. Thresh is stuck. Jay
the
does a lot of
only real, like,
damage.
significant CC. I guess.
Neither team really has good potential.
Wally Bear has a nice flip if like his team is behind him, but let's see. Okay.
Yeah, but unless like LeBlanc gets her E, like they're not going to be able to follow up on that flip.
Yeah. Nasus is heading top lane, so it doesn't look like either team is going to be trying anything. They're just kind of spread out in what I think we like to call the line of scrimmage, where you've got people either warding or covering each of the entrances and making sure that no shenanigans are being shenanigans.
Both teams are sitting there, no one's thinking of
30
anything.
seconds until minions spawn.
So, boring start, but I mean, these are the finals, right? Nobody wants to lose the finals in the first 2 minutes of the game, so it's understandable that they're being a little bit more passive. Let's see if either of the top laners starts with a camp. I think Udyr can Nessus. I've never tried.
I'm not sure actually.
He doesn't look like he's standing next to a killable camp either, so honestly I'm not sure.
I don't think the cooldown's Q is fast enough for him to take camps without taking too much damage.
Yeah, that's true. I can see him maybe trying to Q a Wraith.
Unless he takes like Doran's blade, which I don't think is a good start.
Well, he does have a lot of natural sustain, and he has a flask. Oh, so starting minutes. Flask start from Nasus. What does that tell you?
He's just probably expecting a lot of both from Udyr. He wants to sustain and basically have mana to be able to Q farm.
Yeah, you should probably.
He probably doesn't want back until he has a sheet or whatever it is he wants to do.
We get started right away. We see that Vel'Koz switch, and he's coming out of Crazy Jaw here with that first hand on Tickles. Oh, there's the dancing dog. Oh, let's go back to the dancing dog. What's that? But man, that was a lot of damage. One auto attack from Crayon Box. That Tiger Stance.
That's a Tiger Stance, yeah. He has a dog that goes on. That's Tiger, right? Yeah, Tiger, there you go. That is a lot of damage. Holy crap. This is like half health.
Like huge. She's dangerous. Crayon Box is great against people who don't quite know the strength of the year. It looks like Ken's just got like 4 hours to fire. That Caitlyn Horizon, he's coming after him again. Ken has to back off. He's at 200.
Oh, that's not a good
Crayon Box
idea.
has Ignite. He's got to be careful. He's probably dead here.
He's dead.
And that's first blood.
As soon as you hit level 2, he had to back off right there.
That was crazy. What we thought was not going to happen has happened. Ken
No, I thought that was going to happen.
has given up a snowball.
I mean, yeah, I told you the Udyr was going for a early kill.
I didn't think that has let him, but he teleports back in the lane. I didn't know harm, no foul, but he's down 6 CS. He just gave Udyr first blood. This is going to be a rough lane for this. Thresh with the hook onto Janet is not probably the right decision. No.
Oh, Janna's taking, not Janna, Caitlyn's taking 11 minute damage.
Yeah, Ash just did without Janet is surprisingly concentrated against her. That shield, just with the plus damage and plus shield, swings fights really heavily. Shield is being used. This is a perfect opportunity for Thresh to hook, but he doesn't go for it. So we're just going to farm out here a little bit.
It's a pretty good freeze by
There's actually not a whole lot of volatility.
Not really. I mean, Thresh has.
Yeah, Thresh is the ability to hook. This is probably the interesting matchup in the game.
Yep.
LeBlanc, the assassin.
Oh, no, it's like over his PP, but he knows. And he's leaving.
Yep, nice and safe. You gotta do that on those mages though, right? You have no escape. Your life is so some pretty tricky skill shots.
I mean, it's not, the Valkyries can't land a Z on LeBlanc when she comes in, and LeBlanc comes in. And it's pretty hard to land because there's a delay on it too.
LeBlanc should have been getting in the range.
I mean, no, look at this.
Vel'Koz's out of mana.
Oh, he's stunned.
Oh,
no,
he
has
pops
this.
the barrier, he takes the stun, and no, the Q! Oh! Auto attack and he gets it! The solo kill! Where's your plat now, Crazy Jaw? Ken gets knocked up. Oh, it looks like he's gonna go down again, and Udyr with the second kill. So right off the bat, the two things that I predicted were gonna happen have not happened. It turns out I know nothing about this game. But Tanuj doing an awesome. Well, I predicted that Tanuj wasn't gonna get his solo kill, and Udyr was not as well. But both have happened. And that's kind of an interesting dynamic on this game now.
Oh, Ash is going in by himself without the Janice.
Ash takes a bad trade, but Volley Bear in the back goes through the lantern, gets flipped up. Does he still have you? No, he flashes. Ash forward with the heal. Is that going to be enough?
The exhaust goes on.
Oh! And the Volley Bear heal is going to keep him safe. But man, that was close.
There was a bit of miscommunication when Ash procced off her Q and Jana didn't shield her for any of that until the Q finished procking, so that might have been a kill.
Yeah, that Jana shield damage on any of them as they auto attack making the difference. But I mean, that's well, we thought that Ash was being a little suicidal, but it turns out she had a bear in her pocket, which is what we have. Caitlyn barely escaping with her life, and Ash is now catching up in CS. Alright, let's compare. Nasus has actually done a pretty good job of keeping up. He's only down 6 CS despite being 2 kills down. That second one which he had to walk back from. Volley Bear and Jarvan have both ganked. Jarvan is close. Puts his lane back in the game a little bit. Real surprise here is that mid lane. LeBlanc establishing total dominance over the Vel'Koz. Now Vel'Koz wants none of that. He's backing way off after playing the waves. LeBlanc is just going to be able to farm up to our heart's content.
Oh, he's actually more defensive too. He got a no mantle instead of, I think usually typically with Vel'Koz you want to go for Morales or a Wither as a first item, but he's not doing that.
Yeah, the chalice is definitely a sign that he's opting for the more defensive build to try to stay alive against LeBlanc. Okay, and the bot lane will actually doing a pretty good job. They're staying safe, they're continuing to farm up. They're missing their big star is Inferior Essence as their support. But they're still holding that pretty well, so you know, good for them. Vel'Koz with that geometry, but with his lack of damage items, that's basically a kind of waste of mana. Oh, more geometry, gets him again, does more nothing.
I mean, after 2 stacks, I think you start doing true damage with his passive, so.
That's true, if he gets one
wasted.
hit. But LeBlanc can definitely just play passive. And this is going to be the story of this top lane now. Nasus needs to farm, but he no longer can farm. And that's kind of a devastating situation. LeBlanc really needs to push his opponent. Man, Vel'Koz. Unfortunate flush coming down there. And we see Nasus being chased off again. It's just going to be rinse and repeat. They need to do something up there. Now needs to go into the hand because Udyr's doing a great job of this tower. And with the counter pressure, Nasus is sitting on CS. She was already 16 down. That's a bad state. He's not getting his stacks. He's not getting effective in the which is what we want with Nasus.
Looks like he's converted to E-farming.
Yeah, it's got to be E-farming. Probably Max
I
as
hear him stay
well.
for a
It
D.
looked like he's
He's
just
just
off
picking
correctly, but
on
Jarvan
Nasus.
slowly walking.
Oh, good flash.
That was a bit of a misplay from Jarvan there. But also great from Ken to hold his flash until he saw the flag coming out. It's just a sign of an experienced player knowing what Jarvan's going to do and optimizing to get around him. Jarvan, though, probably should have practiced slowly, get some auto attacks and get that stun from here. And then done a max range flag for that, which would have covered the flash.
Poor Nasus.
Nasus can't possibly know if he's still there. He's got no word. He's suspicious. He's paying back. Jarvan lands his EQ, Nasus' flash is down. He is really most certainly there. Volley Bear needs to get up there, and soon. Volley Bear?
Intense.
3 minutes if he hasn't got up there, I guess it's not really good. Alright, anyway. So it looks like the bot lane, Wild Knight is extending his lead over Haney a little bit as well. 72 to 58.
It looks like Ash came back bot lane, but he has sword though, and Caitlyn still has a pickaxe. So if they want to fight, Ash could be doing a lot of damage if Janna shields him properly.
Yeah, that's always the interesting part of these like item trades. It looks like Caitlyn is ahead on paper, but because of the timing in which they went back to 5, that again from Volleyball coming through and forcing Caitlyn back. Means she only has to pickaxe to Ash's BF server despite her greater overall goal. So right now, they got to go fight. Yeah, I guess I think you're right. I think actually Nasus has finally gotten the frequency to stabilize a little bit from his curve. Rudier needs to be trying to push this forward. And I think he's a little wary about his own lack of forwards. And LeBlanc misses her ult. She really needs to be pushing that advantage, but it looks like no cost for falling any farther behind the 12 CS session. So LeBlanc really wants to make something happen with that early kill. He's already sitting on a row now. Is that the first finish item on the map? There it is.
Oh,
she missed.
And I'll have this too.
As well. LeBlanc's got the advantage of really short cooldowns on her finish all of her abilities, so especially when she's got a mana regen from
She forced me. Oh, and she's gone.
The patience from Colsey pays off.
Oh,
and the hook from Thresh lands on the play, only hits Janet. Janet with a nice ult to get Caitlyn away from her. Can Caitlyn get vision? No. Ash is turning now on Caitlyn and Volleyball in the lane. Camera, is he going to go down?
Oh,
no.
His
passive kicks in that OP Volleyball passive. Healing back to half health. It looks like Ash won that trade in the bot lane though. So reasserting his dominance on that lane. Caitlyn can go
Nasus actually has a lane in his favor right now in a really good place where he could actually farm safely.
Both AD carries running out now on this, so I don't think we're going to see too much happening.
Caitlyn does have a mana pile, but she's not using it.
Maybe she might not. It might not be necessary though. There's no real reason to. Ash and Jet are in the position.
That's tough.
Nasus, however, starting to finally get out for a little bit of fun. Down at 30 CS. That's pretty devastating. The trade kind of works out. You gotta remember, Nasus has a lot more natural sustainability than this, especially with the random boxes not very heavy on this W. Oh no, I lied. He's 3 hours in W. So he can probably sustain it.
He's pretty low and he does not have his passive.
Is he gonna catch it in time? No.
Oh, he got a flash.
But he gets the flash from Rudy. That was definitely unnecessary. And that timing was spectacular. LeBlanc jumping back over the queue was very unnecessary. It was still spectacular, so props to him for that. This lane. Locos has cut the advantage down to just 6k now, although LeBlanc still has a wave, so let's see how many years that far has go. Nope. Guess the right camera has it. Oh, he gets all of them. Good job, LeBlanc. Pushes the lead back up to 9 minions. The back bot lane, Ash is back, picked up a pickaxe, but Caitlyn is also equalized on the side with a good sword of her own. Hey, LeBlanc with the W damage. I'm not super sure why Teenage isn't running her combos. It looks like LeBlanc is wandering under range quite frequently. Although he might just be doing that because he sees the damage he's W around the things. The bot lane, we've got John, and I don't know what they're going to do here though, unless they feel like Ash and Warren are going to try to
Oh, here comes Volibear too, the counter gank. But
Oh,
there's
actually,
more, so
here we
they see
go.
Oh, the hero.
And he misses! He misses Ash. Volibear comes in, flips Jarvan out, and manages to get out of there. Nasus teleport. There's no teleport on Udyr. This is the advantage we were talking about. Pulsey goes down, but this Thresh wall shutting everything down. Crazy Jar wanders too close. Is he gonna get a slam? No! He lands the E. That's the skill shot he uses to keep himself alive. He doesn't get the kill on Ash, but he doesn't die either. Oh, and the hook lands on Volibear. Thresh goes in. He flashes back out. Nasus is too low to chase, but LeBlanc late to the party. Better late than never. Is he gonna land it? Yes! He gets Thresh. Nice work. That ended up being, what did that end up being?
2 for 1 and 2 for Thresh died. Walter died.
So good work to them. But remember what we talked about. Udyr hitting that super fast turret pusher that he is.
Oh, he got his Strike Force too, so he was just going at it.
And a whole lot of difference. Yeah, he's got his Strike Force already.
Yeah, he has Strike Force. He has almost perfect farm. 136 in 15 minutes.
136 at 15 minutes.
It's almost perfect.
Yeah, the metric that you go on is generally 10 CS per minute. So in 15 minutes, optimally you could probably have something like 150, but 136 is definitely really good. And Richard gets caught out a little bit. That's a quick and easy kill. Good job by Colsey there. Although we do have to point out that that last fight only really went as bad for them as it did because he missed his own Q on that hash that didn't know he was there. So that was not great. But Ash is coming around now. Who's gonna get this blue? And it looks like it goes to Colsey on the auto attack. He flashes, he fails to flash. But the Vel'Koz damage. This is Vel'Koz damage. Ash isn't getting out. Is LeBlanc gonna be able to chase him down? No, Udyr's now joined. She has to W away. LeBlanc missed another combo on Crazy Job. That probably would have been enough damage to finish him. But Crayon Box carrying that dragon in the meantime, equalizing the 5v4 from earlier by being down here while necessary. So now this is again what we're talking about. Crayon Box, having won his own lane, is now going to establish his own experience. This is Nessus trying to farm up. He's sacrificing the rest of his map. Hopefully power up his own carry game out later. And we'll see how that works out for him. Nessus is no slouch at pushing on the although we'll see how many Q stacks he has. He is sitting at 132, which is kind of really low for 17 minutes. A testament to how well it is. But it looks like he's going to show up. He shorts the flag and drag. He's continuing to go after.
Wow, he's actually going for the kill.
Wow, he gets in there. He hunts Nessus. Did Jack really just pause the game to go out of here?
And they just walked away from each other.
I have no words. Tournament organizer ruling. Zach has to walk in the shot right now. Alright, well anyway, I guess we'll see that pause in a few minutes here. But the map has really opened up. All the outer turrets are down for the LeBlancs. And normally that's a really bad sign, right? If one team has all their outer turrets down, the other teams. Why is that so bad?
Oh, here is potentially a kill on here. Oh, I don't think so.
He does. Does Volleybear have enough damage to finish this fight? He just might. That chilling smite. One more bite and he shies down. That shutdown was immense. But unfortunately, he didn't go to Nasus. Nasus is going to be their carry, not Volleybear. He really needs those kills and to be in lane to continue to be able to farm. So that's a net win for you there. The block clearing the way for health. Just trying to keep them pushed in. Although I'm not really sure why she would want to at this point. She has no tower on her. So I think she would want Vel'Koz to push her into the forest and make him overextend for farm if he wants it.
I mean, usually what most of the blocks do is they just want to push waves and then try to they don't want to stay on tower to farm.
The game is really awesome, right? When you're the team where all the turrets are down, you're probably going to be very defensive and you're the jungle.
That's true, yeah.
You have nowhere to run to. The other team can freely set up walls everywhere without you really we use a lot of So you see the LeBlancs now are kind of congregating right around the other areas because they really have no idea where anyone on the other team can be anymore at any given time. Crazy job. Right out here going Nessus. I don't think he's that scared though. But yeah, the bear. Gets him again. The net scared. And it goes to Nessus.
There you go.
That's great. Good job, team.
Nessus actually went for a Frozen Fist. Which is surprising. surprising. It's not really. It's usually an offensive item to get when you're ahead and not way behind.
Well, you can also think of it as the kind of more economical item. Triforce being expensive and Frozen Fist giving you more power early. But yeah, I agree.
But against your team though, something like a Frozen Heart would benefit more, I think.
The armor though, against Jarvan and Caitlyn, and to some extent Udyr is probably pretty key.
Yeah.
Now we're looking at probably Zach running over to get a beer. We're never going to let him forget that. Yeah, boo. Probably right. Wait, okay, so in the chat, you see this, right? Beer break. Seriously, guys? Are you guys even old enough to drink beer?
Actually, yeah, how does it work? You just go grab beers.
Alright, so the actual gold lead is pretty close, considering the Sonas are up by 3 towers. So that's actually something that they'll above is getting a lot of free gold off the map as soon as they're able to find their way through. How do you think that breakthrough is going to come?
About what, sorry?
How do you think the breakthrough is going to come?
I mean, she really has to get a pick off of, like, Caitlyn.
It's got to be something.
Caitlyn or Vel'Koz is more.
Nav goes in. They're going to block it? Yes, they do. And Jarvan dives the turret. They're all coming.
Udyr's still going.
But no, this
Udyr wants that kill.
This isn't great for them.
I don't
They're
think
between turrets.
not against the Janna and Ash. He's not
Ash
going
is
to get
gonna
it.
fight him.
And there's the Wither.
This is another kill. Scumbag LeBlanc takes the kill.
I mean, she needs it.
That was an extremely fast time.
Someone like Udyr can't really kite for a second, go after Janna and Ash. They can just kite you for days.
Yeah, that's true. Aggressively went after the old runner tower that Janna disengaged with.
Oh, they're getting their first second tower.
They are, but Ash missed with their lead. They have no idea that their entire team is still behind them. I'm surprised they didn't go after them there.
They're not going to capture her. No, they're not going to capture her.
For sure. Oh, catch the nest. Oh, clips him on the edge, but Volibear is here. Can they fight this? No, Volibear needs to be out of it. His team isn't there. And that overly aggressive move is in that.
Communication there.
And the threshold just barely misses. I like it though. The aggressive plays on Volibear. It's not always about getting the kill, it's about sending a message, right? Like wherever you are on the map, I'm a big angry bear, I'm coming for you. And so maybe Caitlyn gets one less auto attack and I'm contested Dragon Ball for the one to see the eggs for the second, this is going to be their second. Not that worrying just yet. It's not that over time.
Red team doesn't actually have a lot of wood coverage in the map. You look at it right now, they have one freaking top jungle, and that's really it. So the support probably needs to do a better job of warding up if they don't want to get caught.
They do need to step up their ward time a little bit. They've got a movement sites that are actually on Janna. But Janna being one of their less experienced players, it's harder for newer players to kind of understand where vision on the map needs to be. So that's pretty good. This is the kind of thing we'll probably look at in the game. It's just dominating position control specialist. We're back up top here. Oh, this looks familiar. Volibear again going for a gank. Gets the slow on Udyr. The Wither and the Volibear E are probably going to be too much. No! Volibear is so fast. Wither back on. LeBlanc joins the fight.
Oh,
so
this is her
dead.
E.
Yep.
They don't need it that much to kill anyway.
Yeah, Udyr's got to be careful.
LeBlanc is 4-1 now, she's got to know.
That ward coverage is a little bit lacking on that side of the jungle where he pushed up that block. But they've got mid-turret. Is Colton going to go after this again? He does. He misses the flag drag. Here comes Ash coming back. No, the rest of the team didn't make it. Ash goes out. Whoa! Tickle's going the wrong way.
On the support.
Vel'Koz is able to disengage successfully. That's actually something we don't really think about. Vel'Koz is kind of like a disengage.
Yeah.
If you run after him, that's his dream. He eats all of you and then lays a full AoE combo on you.
He's still really good at fighting the jungle because of his angles.
Yeah. Alright guys, so 27:45, they're gonna do something cool. We'll just take a note of that real quick. In the meantime, pushing up bot lane.
Seems like we can solve better map presence than right now. They're just kind of going around and rotating towers.
I mean, it's again that turret differential. They've had much more time to set up their map presence. Although Red Team's coming back, they've only given up 1 second tier. They've taken 2 of the outer ones. Only a 3k disadvantage. So they're certainly not out of this game yet. They still have much better pick potential on their team with that Ashe arrow and with their ability to close the gap quickly on all their own. Both teams kind of just farming up now. This isn't quite the same neutral as we were talking about in the tournament. Both teams have engaged potential and neither are really afraid of taking these fights. But I think the vision is going to have to be set up a lot better for both teams if they want to make anything happen. Because right now, both teams are kind of staying out of vision. So that tends to lead to a bit of a stall while teams are figuring out what the next thing they want to fight. What do you think they should do? What's the move that the Sonas should make?
I mean, it looks like they're just kind of wandering around and farming. They don't look like they have a real plan in terms of where they're warding and where they're trying to push.
Right. So what do you think they should do?
They have a really good engage with Ashe arrow, so if anything, they can try to go up and get picks, is what I think.
Okay.
Paz is one person who's really easy to pick. He has no mobility, which is why he's not really played a lot, and he's kind of seems, and that's something they can take advantage of, especially with an Ashe right here. Oh, and J4 flashes in. Oh, nice
he's
flash.
going after the wrong target though.
Ashe is in a really, really bad position. She needs to... Yeah.
Huge props to Richard there. That was an absolutely
this is a good time to ult right now. Like, this is a really, really good time. There you go.
I really don't like the ability that John is putting in right now. He's using the wrong story on the wrong people. He's just costing him help. He hasn't been successfully engaged on everyone on the team there.
No.
His ult is also down. So his EQ has to land on somebody in order for him to go in. Oh, Thresh misses the hook. Ashe will be down. There's a lot less threat of the fight going the other way, but that was a bad engage.
It also looks like Oliver went for a Spirit Visage first for more healing. I think an item that could have been really good for Precious Glory.
This is trouble though. LeBlanc collapsing down. The damage mostly going on Oliver. Who can take it? LeBlanc makes it out.
Everything. Oh.
And there we go, cleaning up that fight. All the LeBlancs in one place with a 4-for-0 clean kill. And yeah, remember Big Scary Bear? That time he went in, his team followed up. Easy kills. And now they're going to be even more scared of him.
Oh, and Janet finished her talisman, so...
Yeah, that's great. Even more speed for them.
Yep.
Be running at people. But I assume that was the cheering that we heard earlier.
Yeah.
It's a great play by the Sonas. Let's see if they can get anything off of it. It looks like bot tower is nice. They're going to get it. So, gold gap close to just 500. So a really early 3k lead from the Sonas. They're probably going to have to start rethinking their game plan because whatever they're doing right now is just not working.
It looks like Purple Team actually does like have a really good disengage where it seems like Blue just can't really catch anybody out. It might come to a point where Udyr just needs to play the split push game.
That's definitely an option, especially long masses and skill. But, that flash.
And the disengage from Janet.
The bane of all Jarvans is flash. Everyone always has flash, whenever you want them. That's tough. He's got to keep track of those timers and know who he can ult successfully and who he can't.
I'm pretty over flash is totally worth it though.
Is that going to be the combo? LeBlanc is not going to make it out of there. That's the trouble with trying to get
That was greedy. That was really greedy.
No, Haney walks back into the Jarvan. Doing the damage. Oh, Colsey shorts it again. But Udyr runs up. Colsey seems to have a lot of trouble with wanting to do point blank Qs.
Yeah, I'm not sure why LeBlanc tried to go
Yeah, and Ashe walking back into Jarvan too. LeBlanc seemed to just
and that's a free dragon for Blue Team.
We're looking at 12 minutes to round 5. So 42 minutes game over 30 minutes in. Not a whole lot.
Is he trying to go for a kill while there? Yeah, here he goes.
I don't know about this.
He's trying to go for a solo kill.
Why does come from the back? And he's caught the with it. Uber has not built much damage.
Nope, he's going full damage.
Yeah, pure damage items so far. Is he going to run away? Is Wither going to apply? Ken, did you know that if you ult your Wither range increases? He's going to answer on. I hope he knows that though.
I didn't know that.
But yeah, no, that was an addition they made to Nasus to give a little bit more power. When you're
Was that
ulting
recently?
your-
Oh, I don't know.
But it's still a lot. So the lead ballooned right back up to 2.5K. Well, at this point in the game, you're talking about 40,000 totals. That's not really that big of a difference. Like this guy's and we're cheering coming in the blocks. Okay, if anyone has an idea of how we can do this better next time, or for all future league tournaments, please let me know. Because the 3-minute delay and stuff, that's
I was going to say they have like somebody who's playing straight, but then you only get one person to. I'm not sure what Volunteer is.
Oh, but Volunteer is in base gates. And
Looks like they're sieging.
Okay.
They can siege really well with Caitlyn and Bell Palace, so.
Right, they've got the LeBlanc's kind of scared in their own way. They're probably wanting to go for this last outer chart at the top. They're playing in the middle. And they've completely starved LeBlanc's division. They have no idea where they are. And that's dangerous. And they're going to Volleyball. That's the wrong target though. He's actually going to live with his passive easier with the dive. And Chelsea, you do not have the damage to do that to Volleyball. Hey.
You dear with no defensive items taking the tower.
Yeah, for the second time in a row, Sonas way overcommitted to a giant behind the turret. They're paying the price for it. I'm actually trying to get some exit code going on here. Is Asher still?
No,
Oh, and the Wither lands on Fresh. And disengaged from Valkyrie, though. He's still a major threat of those players here.
It looks like Bob has a huge wave towards blue side. Wait,
Did I get that turret for free?
they might be getting it for free.
Let's look at it. No,
No, it just got there.
nothing's matter. I don't think.
Caitlin's playing it. Never mind.
But, I mean, let's talk about what these guys keep trying to do. Colty actually has some meta damage. She does have a black, but it's not enough to take out a passive, active Volibear with Spirit Visage. Right?
Blue team is just kind of going at this point. The second bad dive where they go in way too deep.
Yeah. They need to play better. Because Darwin is just straight while Volibear and Caitlyn just, as of yet, does not have a teammate. She's got an Infinity Edge Phantom Dancer, which gets really heavily shut
Oh
down.
yeah, she needs her last whisper really soon. But it looks like she's going for Bloodthirster next. She's not going for a last whisper.
Yeah. If there was a Frozen Heart being built on the other team, she would be contributing next to nothing in the next 14 fights.
Yep.
That's all that
Villager already has his
matters.
ambulance, and Nasus has his Frozen Gauntlet, both of them are.
They're not good decent behind. But him being behind, this is no way you do it.
Oh, here's the catch, finally.
They
They
built
actually-
it here. The speed is not going to be enough this time. That snare's going to fall. And
There you go. I think that was like one of the first catches that they got with Nashara before it's been used for disengagement purposes.
That's true. I didn't really know that. They did land the arrow on Thresh that turned into
Yeah, that didn't, nothing happened, yeah.
Yeah, so good on them. If that's the pattern for the rest of the game, I think the LeBlancs are going to win this.
So that's what I was actually looking to, was that kind of engagement with Ash.
Dragging up in 1 minute now. The Sona's doing the right thing. They're setting up vision. They've got the Star Crab, that's huge. Setting up wards so they can see the approach. Nasus farming top. That's actually a huge ace in the hole that they have. They have the option to keep the game still where they are right now. And Nass will eventually push into this. He is one of the best split pushers in the game in terms of knocking talents. What is moving kind of slowly? Udyr going to...
That's just a TP right now.
Yeah, they don't know where Udyr is, so that's probably what's going on with that. But you're right. And Asher with an Nass is top right now. We're not too high right now. I guess the problem with Udyr is that he has such a low cooldown guaranteed stun.
The problem also, he's building pure damage, so you can't really just win into the fight. Like, he's building more just the build right now than a team fighting build. Unless he factors somebody out.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. He can't actually face Udyr. He has to make it back to turret. And all those slows from Udyr, he pops his ult. I think he's going to survive.
Oh, really, there's a rating guy.
He's gonna have to get the... If he gets the home guard teleport...
Oh, he's dying. I know he's not.
He can't. If he leaves though, Udyr gets that turret. So this is a bad situation for Nasus right now.
He's leaving.
I think he wants to back and try and get a home guard teleport play. Give up that turret. But Udyr might get two.
If Nessus dies, Udyr will probably get 2 turrets.
Or if they engage on the fight. Tickle's going back into his team. That's gonna prove to be awkward.
Oh, and Velcon.
And his damage is out. Oh, actually, Tickle's still alive. He takes care of him. He's gonna go now onto Velcon.
That was a really great rush play right there.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it was a great rush play so much as
Well,
the block brought him into his team and the play landed on him. So that was kind of a miss.
Oh, actually.
So what had happened was she got hooked and he came in. She doubled back into her team. I think they're lucky to have gone away with also killing Caitlyn, or else they'd be talented.
That's good.
Well, and since that is a score is good. Okay, a new rule after the games end, just sit there and keep pretending you're playing. Nobody can see your screen for that. You guys even want me to keep talking for the next 3 minutes? We know what happens. Yeah, we're not gonna watch. We're just gonna call it a win for the ones. Okay, so let's try and imagine how the Sonas can win within the next 3 minutes. It's got to be a catch. It's going to be a team fight close to their base that they win convincingly and just push in. Meaning that probably Udyr and Caitlyn and Zora can survive and they just push in. Do they go for this catch on Udyr? Is the arrow going to come out? Nope. They play it safe. Back off a little bit. They didn't know where the rest of their team was. It's probably the right call. It was unfortunate. They probably could have picked up, especially on Caitlyn. And then kited Udyr around. Alright, well, here we go. Move for Vel'Koz. Where are they going to go next? This is setting up to like a mid-lane fight. Udyr heading back up. The rest of them heading mid. The Caitlyn Vel'Koz poke crew looks like they're mid. While their tanks are running kind of behind, I don't know where they're heading, probably top. And LeBlanc's kind of at a loss as to what to do. They should be warning. They need the vision right now. And they've got the vision. What are they going to do here? They're going to accidentally warn. Ooh, they can see this. And the speed comes out. The hook onto Janet. Everybody disengaged. That was definitely miscommunication. He's caught out with no flash. Jarvan finally gets some redemption. He's even gonna live. Volibear flips him with the shield coming out. That shield was immense. Nasus is the only one left. Here's the fight we were talking about, right in front of their base. It looks like it's gonna be a clean 4-0, and this is gonna be a push into the base.
They fought in a choke point, which is what they'll cause.
Yeah, they did. Ash is not gonna be the same control. This should not have been the end of the game. What teams tend to do is when staggered death timers, they can start rushing up and not want to die. That's oftentimes how you end up losing these games. Janet's going to come out, Ash is going to come out. But if they moved up and tried to get this back together, they might be able to come back in. 3.
Oh, this is best of 3?
Alright guys, take like 2 minutes and then let's get going.
Putting back up the stats.
You just leave up the end screen.
Oh, okay.
Now you know my strategy's back. It's all about what to have a big game without getting drunk.
I think that was a really bad miscommunication in the last fight. Where Gianna was going in with her speed. Nobody else followed. They all disengaged.
Join the game.
Yeah, I'm just gonna spectate it.
Hey, what side do you guys want? What side do you want? I know. What was up with that? It's a lot. That was the greatest pause I've ever seen in my life. Pause. Zach, that was a pause. You were dead. I was right. Why'd you pause? You're dead. You had a 15-minute death. That's what I do the whole deal. I died. Now when you did one Tiger String, holy shit, one all the way freeze ready. And then like the first one, you turned out two on oh shit. Yeah. Fuck. What side do you want? That's right. We'll get blue. Get blue? Yeah, yeah.
Alright guys, can you come back to your computers? Let's get this next game started.
It's like a very, very experimental thing.
Also, does anyone have a cushion? This is a very hard seat.
Let's do, we'll take blue. We'll take blue. Stand.
Is there ever a time when someone doesn't want to?
I like red better.
It's not even red, it's like magenta.
Yo, we really gotta get started. Andy's gonna go through.
Do you know what James had to do on Tuesday? What? His had one laptop, 15 minutes into it, it died. He had to install League on another laptop while playing League on this one. This one died, he transitioned to the second laptop.
Funny shit ever.
Alright guys, let's get going. Alright, let's start it up. I think they're good. Go for it. Yo, LeBlancs, what's going on? Andrew. Andrew. Grand box. Yeah, those headphones cannot be that noise canceling. You can hear me. Oi. Start it. Pick four. Pick four. Alright, that's it. You guys lose the band. That's probably true. Alright, here we go into Champion Select. Let's think a little bit here about what we need to do differently in this game. Oh crap. Hey, we need your password again, Andrew. Sorry. Alyssa! Password! Unless you just want to hang out and cast, that's cool too.
I'm not sure how good of a caster I am.
Yeah, you've seen how good of a caster I am, so okay, so let's talk a little bit about here. You are the other plat player in this tournament. Let's talk about what do you think they need to do differently in order to win this game? We're going to be giving them live advice, but that's okay. It's up to them whether or not they want to take it. Use your mic.
Dude, I wasn't really watching the first game. They probably just need to shut down a lot of the big threats to that game. That's probably like basic advice for anything, but yeah.
Yeah, they took away the Udyr this game. Ken being able to take the contested Irelia pick now that they are on the blue side.
Yeah, there's some pretty heavy top lane bans and target picks coming in here.
Yep, we're about to find out how good Crambox's fourth top laner is. I mean, if he performs on this, you just got to give him a team champion pool. That's impressive.
Yeah, I think throughout the regular season too, he consistently won most of his lanes.
Okay, so the Caitlyn pick coming back in here.
It's pretty standard. It's like a safe pick. It's pretty easy to farm, especially with her long range. I think she has one of the longest auto attack ranges in the game.
How do you think she did on that pick last game though? Was it effective?
I think it was pretty effective. Did kind of just what he needed to do. Just support from the back, not really like the heavy hard carry.
Ooh, Infiorescence is special here. Her Leona coming out. This is the Leona that wins games for her team. So, hopefully it's going to give them exactly what they want. And Irelia, Leona, Volibear. If I were Caitlyn, I'd be a little scared right now.
Yeah, I think Leona is actually a really good pick into the, especially from their last comp, especially because Volibear was the main source of engage, which wasn't really that effective with the flip, with just the flip.
Yo, Zach, what are you doing?
And the Vel'Koz comes back out. Zach being just as effective on the Vel'Koz as he was rumored to be, doing top damage in the game by quite a bit. And also shutting down a lot of the engages that they ultimately had, right? There was a couple situations where it looked like they were getting run down. But that Vel'Koz, he shuts it right down.
Yeah, so especially because last game they were able to kite back a lot of this Leona and Volibear and Aurelia should be able to help lock down a lot of the targets.
On the other hand, though, we've got Jarvan who's going to be going in all the time again. The team on the left, the blue team, if it stands, this is 4 people going in and Misfortune just kind of hanging out in the back. How does that turn out?
Well, it depends on how the Jarvan prioritizes the MF, because if Jarvan can just jump on the MF, it can kind of just, what am I trying to say, zone out the other, not zone, but like pick her out and then like kind of get rid of most of the main sources of damage.
Yeah, it looks like she's going to have to lean heavily on her ult, staying well away from that Jarvan, because you know he's going after her every fight. On the other hand, though, they don't have an Udyr to kind of be dive buddies with Jarvan, so we're probably going to see a lot of MF 1v1ing Jarvan while the rest of their team deals with that massive dive coming from the LeBron's team.
Yeah, one of the biggest things I kind of pick out from this comp, or not the different teams, is that Crambox is taking Ignite instead of Teleport. So he's always going for those aggressive, like, win lane type of situations where Ken's more like helping out in like team fights.
Yeah, we saw that. We saw that perfectly last game, where the Ignite got Udyr that first blood and that lane dominance. But the first major team play went to Ken, and he teleported by and got that. I think it was 3-for-1 trade in the bot lane with the outnumber. So we'll see if that style comes into play here again.
Yeah, we'll see how. I think Darius is actually can be pretty aggressive toward Aurelia, especially because when she jumps in, Darius has a bunch of things to just like combo her really hard.
Yeah, I really can't imagine that Ken is going to give up another first blood here. By the way, he can't. Like, he's too experienced to play the game. Although if he plays scared, that's not good either. He doesn't want to be giving free farm to Darius. I really needs that farm as well. All right, so these team comps. What do you think? Your early predictions?
I think for the most part, everything seems pretty even in my opinion. I think I like purple team's comp a little bit better because it has both, like with Thresh and like Vel'Koz, Jarvan, as both an engage and they're both able to like engage pretty hard and disengage if they need to. Especially because they have a lot of CC.
The one thing I don't like about Purple's team's team is that they don't have a lot of presence in a neutral scenario, where it's just a team fight going on. Darius doesn't really have the mobility to get around and pick targets. He's going to be stuck basically hitting whatever's in front of him. And whatever's in front of him doesn't seem to be all that juicy in this game, right?
Yeah.
He's really got 2 targets.
I think another thing is that both teams in general don't really have strong wave clear. So if they're getting pushed in, it's going to be pretty hard to defend a lot of their turrets.
This game is essentially going to come down to who gets an early advantage. It doesn't look like either team has much comeback potential. Maybe the blue team can get a lot of catches with their just insane dive team.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think most of this game is going to come down to who can get like the early picks and who can just snowball that lead.
I will say though, the blue team does look like a Season 4 LPL team right now. If that Leona stun lands, the rest of the team is going to be on top of you within 2 seconds, and you're going to be dead.
Waiting for that level 3 4-man turret dive up top.
Yeah, for sure. One thing is for sure, they have to shut down Rayon Box. They can't give him another game where he dictates the flow of the game. I mean, Vel'Koz may have been the damage carrier in that last fight, but it was definitely the Udyr running around disrupting everything that put the game out of reach a little bit for once.
Yeah, that's one of the greatest things about having a really strong top laner who can apply a lot of pressure. It kind of just takes pressure off like your mid lane and AD carry. They don't have to like dive further in team fights and carry as hard because the top lane can do a lot of damage and just kite back and tank and do a lot of different things depending on how they build.
Yep. One last storyline before we start going into this game. It's going to be super interesting to see how this team holds up with James and they played them really close with Richard, but James is a class of his own. He probably far outclassed every other support in the league this season. So let's see if he can use that influence in this game, both in the vision and in knowing when to engage, making those smart team plays.
Yeah, I think another key factor is probably going to be if anyone can actually get to the back line to reach MF, because a lot of the CC that if the team does it right, they can probably block a lot of the CC and zone them out from MF while she just holds to the back line.
Yeah, that's the great thing about MF, right? She has the option to be nowhere near the fight yet still contribute.
Yeah, and especially because blue team has such a big, strong tank or front line, it's going to be really hard for like Darius to, unless he burns Flash or Jarvan and Vel'Koz, to kind of just get to the back line of blue team.
Yeah, actually, when I think about it, there's a very non-trivial amount of synergy going on in that team because we've got a significant amount of AoE between Leona and Misfortune for Katarina to jump around and get resets, Irelia to jump around and get resets, and just Volibear being a big body in the middle, disrupting the other team. So,
yeah,
I really like their team.
I think, especially with the blue team, even if they get behind towards the beginning, they always have that potential for like a wombo combo, especially with the Leona, MF, Kate. If the MF can get the entire team low, Kate can just come in and just clean up the entire fight.
And they do have some reset targets in there. Vel'Koz is not known for being not squishy, and Caitlyn too. Probably not getting the bloodthirst until maybe the 4th item. So she'll be really easy to reset onto if Katarina can get any kind of traction. That being said, Katarina into Vel'Koz is not nearly as nice of a matchup as LeBlanc. see what happens in that one.
So it seems like the red team is kind of wanting to probably get some early ward coverage or maybe find someone to pick out, where blue team's kind of, they seem to be trying to play safe, but it's a little curious if they're all stacking up on that one bush.
It's strange to me. Blue team should be the aggressors here, right? Between Volibear, Leona, Irelia. You would think they would easily have the CC to win these fights.
Yeah, they have a really good level 1, but I think okay, so they're going bot side to see if they can catch someone out towards that bush and be able to hopefully get some early wards down to kind of just see where the jungler is. And I think one of the biggest things that people underrate with junglers is if you can kind of know where the enemy jungler is or starts out at the beginning, you can basically assume where they are on the map for the entire first like 5 minutes of the game.
Do you think anyone in this game is thinking that far ahead? As your experience as a jungler in this league, have you found that to be true?
Say what? Say again?
Do you feel like teams are tracking the rest of the junglers?
Some teams did a pretty good job. There wasn't a lot of deep wards, so I think a lot of the time they were able to control vision very well. Especially, I think a lot of people underrate the rage smite, where you can get vision control. And a lot of the times you can both take away vision from your own jungle and kind of just be able to apply pressure around the entire map, even if you're because you're unknown where you are.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Being secretive is kind of a big deal for junglers right now, especially early on, where most people have gotten so predictable. Is he gonna? That was an error. The blocks don't know about that, so that's the problem. Actually, I was going to comment on this, but both teams made some pretty massive mistakes right out of the game. There were 3 lanes late to lane. Katarina missed 3 minions, which is huge in a very good matchup. Where if she gets behind, Irelia missed a couple minions too. So I think you're going to see Darius hit 3 well before her.
And Boston got getting pretty aggressive. He seemed to take a lot of minion damage.
Oh, and there it is. There's the level 3. He's got all the skills. That Ignite is on with the bleed.
Forcing a flash. Oh, and also runs going in.
That is a decent engage. I don't even know about that with that early power. Leona's passive is a super underrated part of the kid. People kind of underestimate how much damage.
Yeah, especially with her passive, Caitlyn can proc it, and even with her headshots, it can just really zone people out of the game.
So Henry, he's not cute. This is his misfortune pick that we were talking about in the previous game. I'm actually surprised they didn't pull the Ashe out again, actually. Because the Ashe arrow landing on anybody is a guaranteed engage, right? It doesn't even matter if it lands on a tank. They're going on that.
And I think Ashe is very similar to Caitlyn, because Ashe also has a very long auto attack range, and with her slows, she has really good CC to help the team out.
Yeah, and it's not like she gave Ashe up for the jungle. Misfortune similarly has no way to get out of that jungle except for flash.
Yeah. One of the advantages of Caitlyn though is that she does have that E where she can net backwards, and I think one of the biggest things is she's scared of like the volley there with Leona all these hard engages. So that might be one of the reasons why she went up Caitlyn over Ashe.
Misfortune over Ashe.
Or misfortune over Ashe.
Oh, Volibear! Thresh wanders too close! He gets picked off. It's his first blood, it's gotta be. And it goes to Leona. Here we go. No, he has no follow-up. His Q is probably on cooldown. He didn't want to kind of go flashed over and send Darius.
Yeah, that was kind of the trade we were talking about earlier, where if Ken had Ignite, you would probably been able to get the kill. And hopefully we can see him use this teleport to kind of get an advantage around the map.
Would you consider Irelia going even with Darius just to kind of win?
I think so, especially because when it gets towards the later game, towards late game, this teleport will be a lot more useful than Ignite. So as long as they're able to go even, Irelia could probably apply a lot more pressure later on in the map than Darius again.
Alright. So back to even. The First Blood swings a 600 gold advantage to the LeBlancs, their first lead in this series, actually. Let's look at the CS. Katarina is holding up well against Vel'Koz. I did not really expect that. But I guess it's also hard for Vel'Koz to apply Qs to Katarina when she's playing inside the minions for most of the time. Darius brazenly backing.
Yeah, so most of the game seems pretty standard so far. I think both teams are playing kind of passive, not really.
Oh, and here we go! Just as we say that, flashes into the latter part of the laser. And Vel'Koz picks up that kill. Well, he's making up for that last game where LeBlanc went ahead and put it in. Putting the Katarina a little bit behind, 7 CS and a kill. That's gonna be tricky. If Vel'Koz starts getting some items and Katarina can no longer stay on the road, that's all.
Yeah, that's especially one of the big risks about going Katarina, because her early game is very weak, especially against green champions. So she usually falls behind in CS, but usually after a good team fight, if she's able to clean up the opponent's kills, she can snowball ahead, so we can see what will happen, hopefully in the first Dragon fight.
Yeah, you're definitely correct. Katarina is looking for that first big team fight and looking to reset through all that. If she gets a 3-kill, 4-kill fight, it's a hard road back for the opposing team.
And so another thing you can kind of notice is even though blue team's ahead, the red team has a lot more ward coverage. Like, I think the blue team just placed some wards down, but for the most part, red team has wards all across the river, with a line of covering every single entrance. So if anyone comes for a gank or anyone wants to invade, they can be able to call them out.
Well, although it's worth noting that the success of the Mythic on First Blood is still late. So Volibear doing a good job of, I don't know, maybe he knew the words were there and that was his choice of preempting that tactic. But yeah, you're right, red team's got, I mean, they've even got that bush warding now. So
yeah, this should be especially interesting because Leona and MF are probably going to hit 6 soon, and then once they hit 6 and get their ults, they can apply an enormous amount of pressure bottom lane.
Yeah, they can even go for the thresh. A lot of times it's dangerous to go for the thresh, but the Canyon is just one of those things that it doesn't matter. He's not getting enough.
Volibear's going for the game because it's too low to do anything.
Good time for Volibear to show up though. It looked like Darius was committing to chasing down the DR. He hadn't shown up. But yeah, you're right. And that is one creep away.
There we go, 6.
See what they do with this. Your Essence has definitely not been shy in the past of pulling the trigger.
Thresh is level 5 too, so
oh, close him in. Is this it? I think Volibear has his passive up. Yep, it's proccing now. Crambox backs out. That's the sad part about playing Darius is keeping somebody close to you until you.
Yeah, it's interesting because Crambox has been able to even get a giant CS lead up on top. Applying a lot of pressure, and even with the Aurelia teleport.
Aurelia's teleport is not currently up, so it's not like a bot fight so decided to do it.
Yeah, and that's
actually be able to affect.
Oh, can say more.
Getting into range, and there it is. The dunk.
Yeah, I was going to say earlier, I think one of the biggest things you have to watch out for when you take teleport as a top laner is not being harassed out in lane, because I think Crambox did a really good job with his Ignite to force Aurelia to go back and then force her to use her teleport just to get back to lane instead of being able to use it to go other places in the map for ganks.
Yeah, that's how you gotta go with an Igniter, else you're giving up way too big of a team advantage to the other team for not carrying that teleport like almost every other top lane, I guess.
Oh, and Jarvan's coming bot lane, but Volibear's still behind turrets.
The missed hook, that was probably actually a good thing. I think Thresh would have engaged on that, Jarvan would have come in, but Galago was from either Jarvan. Point blank right in the middle, she eats the entire ult. Leona flashes forward for the kill, and now Jarvan's in trouble. He's getting clamped on by Katarina. Is he going to be able to get out? No! He gets pulled back during the flagging drag. Beautiful play by Volibear.
Dragon.
You gotta put him in a booth, guys. Alright, well, beautiful play by the LeBlancs. All collapsing down. They did not even need the teleport from Aurelia. That wasn't the reset that Catalina wanted, but definitely advantaged her.
Definitely helps put them back in the game, especially because I think every single one of the lanes are losing.
And now they've got a 500 gold advantage. I guess we can take a look at where that's coming from. So right now we've got a 700 gold advantage for Darius up top. But balancing that out is a significant lead for NMF, 900 or so, as well as the support, Leona being a full 1k ahead. And on this team, that's great. You want to take Leona that's not afraid of anything and will get into any fights. Yeah, she's going to start the fight. Volibear with another gank.
Got out.
Vel'Koz has...
going in.
I think he didn't realize that Vel'Koz just used him. He didn't have to run away from that W. But, I don't know. Vel'Koz damage is scary. Okay, I'd say that Crazy Jaw is a legitimate expert when it comes to Vel'Koz. I don't think I've ever seen anyone. But, what do you think of his Sork shoes first? Really
Ambitious. I think it's pretty ambitious, especially because I guess he's not spamming mana. I think rushing Grail probably would have been more effective because you get that magic resist and you're able to stay in lane long enough. Push Cat into her turret, where she's forced to see us under turret and kind of be able to get a bigger lead from it.
See, I guess my thing is, Sork shoes don't feel like priority given that so much of Vel'Koz's damage comes from his passive. It doesn't affect that true damage.
Yeah, I think another thing is that both these teams haven't really started building items yet, so not a lot of people have. I don't think anyone has magic resist on their team.
That's true. Getting that poke to hit harder certainly can't hurt. Oh, here it comes. Is it going to be a dive? Darius is very dangerous. A couple of turn shots, and you're in range.
They don't think they. Oh, they're going in. They force the flash out.
That turns out to be a pretty good play. Not going under the turret is a great choice against Darius. Dunk master turnaround.
And I think one of the biggest things here is that Volibear has been top a lot of this game. He hasn't been able to convert any of those games into the kills.
On the flip side, Percy's been blocked basically his entire time. And this was a problem in his last game, overextended. He beats a whole lot of damage for nothing.
Yeah, Jarvan wasn't on the same teammates.
And again, he does it again. And Katarina somehow is behind him.
She got, Leona got it. 3-0 Leona. The hard carries.
Scumbag support. But you basically just saw the benefits of the 3-0 Leona, right? She stood in with Jarvan and Kaylin hitting her and converted it into 2 kills.
This is why Fluorescence Leona was banned out for most of the regular season.
I guess the Sonas didn't do their homework. So it is. Leading to an invade now. The first turret going to the left. And Crazy Jaw eating a gank from behind from Volibear who gets out.
Cat's coming around the corner. I don't think
and that laser! That kills the bear. But Katarina, is she going to be able to catch up? Nope. Slows him down. Gets away for free. I think Dab underestimated that laser damage.
Still, I think one of the biggest things in this game is even though blue team's getting ahead, I don't think their vision control is good. They hardly have any wards on the map while the red team is warding up all the biggest.
I think they've been able to get away with that so far because most of the actions happen in the lanes. But yeah, now that people are wondering the bot lane is coming in because they pushed the turret in, they're going to have to start establishing their vision control, especially since their team is predicated on seeing people and killing people.
Yeah, I think another thing is that Jarvan hasn't really. Oh, but Ken gets pulled in. He's trying to trade with him, and Crambox takes the tower damage. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, I think Jarvan hasn't been pressuring enough to force the other teams to ward up, and his presence hasn't been that big around the map.
I think he's tried the gank. He's been bought a number of times. They haven't been good ganks, I guess is what it comes down to.
I think it's probably a miscommunication between the teams. A lot of the time you see him, like during that last game, he went in a lot earlier than his other team, and his other team had to run to him in order to even just to be there in the fight.
right? And by the time they got there, the MF Leona burstness had just already taken that out of the equation. So
Yeah, and so at this point, Jarvan's 0-3, and when you're that far behind as a jungler, it's kind of hard to apply pressure around the map because a lot of the ganks that you do has the possibility of being turned around.
yeah, Jarvan is a bit of a binary champion. He has to go in and he has to commit. So if he's unable to commit, then he loses a lot of his effectiveness, unless he's willing to just die for his team over and over.
Another thing that I found really interesting is Jarvan didn't even finish his jungle item. He just rushed straight up Sightstone. So that tells me that he's kind of adapting to, he knows he's falling behind and he wants to be more of a supportive jungle right now and kind of just ward up for his team rather than being that aggressive jungle early on.
I love Crayon Box single-handedly keeping the team game. There is not much of an advantage from blue team, even though they're up by 2 kills.
Yeah, I think Crayon Box has been able to stow all this lead really well. He's up now around 50 CS. It's probably just going to grow as the game goes on.
There will come a tipping point, though, simply because I really is a better champion. So Crayon Box is going to have to find a way to push this advantage. If your essence gets caught, but is this what they want? Oh, with the perfect stun, Katarina getting reset, goes in, triple kill, quadra kill for the Katarina, and there it is, that mid-game team fight.
They all grouped up for the Leona ult, and all of them just stood there while they got stunned, Cataclysmed on, and then MF ulted.
Yeah, you never want to hook a Leona. You definitely don't want to hook a 3-kill Leona in the first 15 minutes of the game. That wasn't.
Yeah, especially because they seem to focus out Leona when Leona doesn't do that much damage. Cat and MF were able to just go in without worrying about any CC or any champions coming after them.
I mean, Caitlyn and Vel'Koz definitely look like they didn't quite space that fight correctly. Vel'Koz probably could have been doing it over the wall. He didn't have to commit on that side bush over there. Caitlyn, I don't know, it was tricky. That was a tough fight. No,
There's
got
that
up top.
but he's by himself. Can Aurelia get there in
Oh,
time?
the pullback from the flash, but Aurelia is...
Jarvan's here now.
And the chop. This
They're able
is
to convert it for 2-1.
Ooh, that's crazy drop. But keeping them in the game, they're probably going to get this turret. Actually, no. The blocks are doing a good job of rotating up there. But what do they have to pick out their bot lane? Devastating bot lane. Colsey goes in too early again. That damage. Ooh, the ult misses. But the flash was in catch rush. Yep. You can't have a fed Leona on the other team, especially when their Leona is one of the. You just lose all sense of being able to team fight, right?
Yeah, you see, he's already got the Aegis, which is such a strong item, especially this early on in the game. She can kind of just control how the game moves and dictate how team fights go.
Yeah, this Darius is great at bullying a lane. He's not so great in team fights. So when it comes down to those situations where they're just pounding on each other doing damage, you're looking at Vel'Koz to do all that damage, and that Aegis is going to hurt him a lot.
Yeah, one of the things that hurts about having such a big lead top is that it's hard to convert it on around the other parts of the map. Especially because top lane is usually such an isolated place, especially when you don't have teleport. It's hard to use that lead that you have to force something in.
And the same thing happened again. They tried to engage because that's what their team does, but just way too much damage coming out of Katarina.
Yeah, one of the biggest things here is that Darius is getting caught out right now, and it doesn't look good for him.
Oh, wouldn't take someone with him? No. There's the clean ace. 5 for nothing.
Yeah, so one of the biggest things here is that the entire red team don't really have any armor or magic resist. You see Darius rush Triforce, Jarvan rush the Sightstone, and so a lot of the times they're really squishy in these fights. So when a little damage is put on them, Cat and MF just go in there and blow them up.
Yeah, they're working the elbow combo. They've got farm on the right with 7 kills on Katarina, 3 kills now on Misfortune, rocking an IE and a Williams.
It looks like they can get this contested there.
And the lead balloons to 7K in 20 minutes. That is worse than the injury.
Super strong. This is actually extremely rare because Baron spawns at 20 minutes. So getting a 20-minute, 40-second Baron is really something that shows how far ahead they are right now.
5-0 ace tends to do that. That's not something you see very often in 20 minutes, like you're saying. So, well, do you think there's any way back here for the Sonas?
I think we need to start building little armor magic resist, preferably in Aegis to work around this cat, and really in fights know what to prioritize, and being able to like get out of or dodge a lot of these Leona skill shots, because Leona is the main person here who dictates these team fights.
And if James is the next game, I think we're almost certainly going to see a... Now this we haven't talked about. A Baron buff at 20 minutes. Can you deal with Baron units when doing it?
Well, this is one of the things we were talking about earlier, that the red team doesn't really have much advantage there, and especially with these empowered Baron bases, it's going to be really hard when the blue team's pushing into their turrets.
I feel like that was almost a mistake by the blue team. They've shown that they're not afraid of red team engaging at all. Why wouldn't they just sit there and...
red team seems to be going aggressive right now. Are they getting caught out?
Oh! So, in that corridor, the MF ult.
They all pulled up to that jump point, and MF was able to sit in the back safely with no threat of being reached, just being able to hold everyone as they were walking.
Hence Caitlyn, and Jarvan turns around.
That's the ace.
Yo, can you guys just surrender so we can go home before time? No, they're sticking in it.
And there's
Serious
four
faces on that side.
There's the surrender vote.
2 and 3. We're gonna find those 3 later. We're gonna have words. Alright, well, let's see. Can they get an inhibitor here?
Seems like it. The other team's just spawning, and even if they got there, I don't think they can even fight. Oh, Ken's going hard. Seems he can get caught out. Oh, but he's able. No, never mind.
He goes ahead and jumps on it out. Alright, you guys are terrible actors. What did I say? Okay, well, clearing minions. This is rough. Baron minions and super minions now. Nobody wants to deal with that at 20 minutes. LeBlanc's rotating down in the bot lane. Notice he shorts the EQ again.
Well, he flashes for it, but
Does he have ult?
But Thresh Vel'Koz were backing away. I don't think they were on the same page, and now he's by himself.
They re-engage, and Closey's plan out again. They're going to have to work out some of those people. But this seems that Vel'Koz disappeared. He was full health, and then he died.
The 13-1 cat hurts, man.
They have a lot of things they need to ban. They cannot let Infiorescence back onto Leona. They probably don't want Tickles back on Katarina. But
Yeah,
Prayer Box with the statement, you might be winning the game, but you're not winning the top lane. I know why.
yeah, at this point, Cat is 13-1 when the other team that barely has any magic resist. So
Okay.
it doesn't look good for
I think it's pretty safe to start this game. It's almost certain that the Sonas are going to come back on the blue side. See, there's only really one contestant. So that means that of the 4 champions, Meteor, Irelia, Jax, and Corky, Sonas are going to get one of them. Which one are you most okay with giving up? If
probably
you
Corky. Because Corky is very situational, and if you know how to deal with Corky, you can really work around it. Whereas a lot of these other things that are like tanky and have these big CCs, it's a lot harder to deal with, especially when they get that snowball view.
I feel like Angel's stats on Corky seem to suggest that nobody in the league knows how to deal with this Corky now. And I don't know, he has not been effective on Caitlyn. He's 0-6 this game. He hasn't shown the ability to pivot to any other champion. I think you just keep forcing him on the Corky. I mean, even if you give up a little bit to not having to deal that
Because Corky is very aggressive, especially with so much too, so he can build hybrid. Whereas Kate's more of a poke champion with just auto attacks and stuff like that. So she can't zone out and be more of a support than
Yeah, we'll pick that up in the next Champion Select, but congratulations to the Blunts. They tied up 1-1. We're going to a deciding game 3 here.
We have a series.
Yeah, do you like the LCS?
The LCS
Victory music?
Did you play that?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it just like randomly just started, and I was like, that's impressive. Ryan needs to release that spectator mode without any delay.
They're not fancy though. I've bothered them a lot about it.
What?
I've bothered the writers I know a lot. And they just like, they have a pretty hard stance against.
They what?
They have a pretty hard stance against
okay.
ghosting.
I guess. Yeah.
Ryan doesn't always have the best reason for it.
Sandbox mode.
That was a shit show.
Yeah, I understand that like they didn't want to do it, but their statement against it was just not the right thing to do.
It doesn't even really make sense.
It doesn't.
Because you already have like, go play normals, and the normals go play bots. So
The only way to get better is to actually just keep playing normal games.
yeah, that's also a terrible idea
Yeah.
for a competitive game.
Because it's not like for like just like in any sport, you don't get better at basketball by just playing like a basketball game like all day long.
They ate shit for that. So I think that was a stupid thing to say.
Well, I mean, all the community backlash, I think they're reconsidering it.
They released a statement saying they would reconsider it.
I think I saw that on Reddit.
Huh?
Can we like?
Yeah, we're gonna start in like the next 3 minutes. Hey, Haley's staying for the next one, right?
Yeah, he pushed it back to the
You guys can't stop the hat.
He got it good. I don't know.
Add up your entire team.
I'm just hanging in there. I didn't like. Oh yeah, that's good. James was just calling shots. We were just following. Everybody. Somebody was following. We didn't have that first game. We were just like chicken little pets.
I like every corner. You're the only one who probably couldn't like this one game.
I know, man. Too much advantage. Yeah, it will be very interesting. Hopefully not. Oh yeah, no. I mean, if you would do that, I would just go like full man up or something. Are we ready? Yeah, we're ready. Alright, let's go.
Alright, and everyone wants to go home, so right back into Champion Select. Actually, no, I lied. They weren't ready. They probably want to set up their order or something. Oh no, actually, of course he is.
He's not ready.
Okay. 1 second, friends. Who's left? They're all league players. Do you guys even need me to commentate anymore? Why? You know the game.
Excited for playoffs? The other playoffs?
Alright,
That should be a really good match though. It's TSM versus Liquid.
that's the 1 and 2. I think. CLG maybe. You guys good? Alright guys, kick it off. Let's go.
Baby.
Decider.
Tournament Rise skins on the line.
This game is for Triumphant Rise.
Triumphant Rise.
Who wants it more?
And the first ban Leona, you can really see how big of pressure Leona put last game.
Yeah, getting right into it. Let's see what bans come through. We actually have bannable champions on the Sonas now, or the LeBlancs now, so we're going to see what happens. Jax goes out immediately. Jinx again.
That's very interesting.
Why? I don't understand this Jinx ban. I don't know what they're thinking. Irelia goes out. That's pretty standard. Misfortune goes out too. Leaving up all the things.
They're really targeting Max.
I mean, he's got to pick. He doesn't even have to pick up his Udyr. Udyr's uncontested. What else do they want out of this draft?
I think both teams kind of want to play these 380 carries that got banned out, and the last one that besides that is Caitlyn, and yeah, so Caitlyn's probably going to be a priority pick here.
But Caitlyn, I don't know. Anything would have been more effective than Caitlyn in that last game. In the first game, he wasn't exactly effective either. And look, they've given up Cho'Gath to Ken. That's his ultimate comfort pick. Inferior Essence on Blitzcrank certainly can make plays there. Crayon Box.
We see a Talon, or possible Talon, and possible Shyvana coming in.
Yeah, looking at Talon, that would be an interesting pick. That'd be a deviation from everything he's done this season. I don't think he's going to go with it. Shyvana on Handy Kiss, on the other hand, is a solid pick. He's got a couple of plays on that. He knows the build. He's performed pretty well on it, and it will give them a kind of mid-game threat against the so far pretty immobile team, right? Shyvana's not somebody you want to pull into your team, so that's great.
Yeah. I think one thing that could possibly be a problem if the purple team get ahead, though, is that so far it seems like they have a lot of CC that can deal with the Shyvana that comes in.
Yep, and here is why I was a little bit questionable on the Jinx and Misfortune bans, because Ashe has been Haney's go-to 780 carry. So it feels like if you're going to ban 80 carries off of him, you're going to leave Jinx up. He hasn't shown himself to be that effective, right?
I think especially with a lot of these games, early game is a big deal because early game is a lot where a lot of teams snowball their lead and get the lead. Something as Jinx isn't actually necessarily a good pick because she has such a weak early game. It just takes her a while in order to just get snowballing.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Okay, so we've got on the blue team, basically the exact same team. We've traded out Jarvan now for Shyvana. Let's see if Hannington can pick it up a little bit. Kelsey's the assist leader, as we saw right before this match. And he's definitely made some great initiations, great plays, but he's not been on point this match. And that just has to be said. He's missed a lot of EQ combos. He's flubbed a lot of engagements.
Yeah, we see a possible cat pick coming in, and I think a really interesting thing that I'd like to see this game, as opposed to last game, is if there's a signal that the purple team start getting an early lead, I really want to see the blue team just actually build these MR items and armor items to help tank them from getting reset on them.
Yep, the Shyvana definitely will output more damage than the Jarvan. So if she can get to Ashe, Shyvana Udyr is not something Ashe can survive. So we're gonna the peel of the LeBlancs are gonna be tested.
Another thing I think Shyvana really needs to watch out for is that Shyvana's also a lot more mobile than Jarvan. Like with her W, she moves really fast. And the biggest problem last game was that he was too far ahead of his teammates. So if he needs to really coordinate his games with his team if he wants to transition these early or get these early kills and transition the lead.
All right, we've got the team comps locked in. What do you think of these team comps?
I think this is pretty similar to last game, except for with the Blitz, it should be a lot more interesting because the Blitz is more of a pulling someone into your team, as where Leona's more hard engaging forward. So I think it should be interesting because I think the purple team's has a lot less CC than they did last game, and with all these without all the lockdowns that they had, it should be a little bit harder for Kat to get a little big lead like she did last game.
Yeah, she's definitely gonna have to work for her own resets. Really only the Caitlyn, the Vel'Koz, and maybe the Thresh as good reset targets this time around. But I don't know. I feel like purple team is lacking a little bit of damage, especially with Ashe being an unreliable auto attacker.
Yeah, I think especially with if Blitz Ashe doesn't really do well in lane and the Kate Thresh are able to snowball forward, it should be really hard for the purple team to have a lot of damage on their team because Cat is most likely going to not do well early game during the laning phase, and Cho'Gath's more of a supportive tanky top laner. So if they don't get all this, if they aren't able to get a lead down bottom, they might not have enough damage towards the later game.
So I did have the pleasure of watching also Note's previous match against the Heimerdingers, and he also played into this Thresh Blitzcrank matchup. It did not go so well. Blitzcrank is one of those champions where if you get inside the head of your opponent, it's easy to kind of set up and get a lot of kills that way. And so we'll see if maybe he takes the lessons from that game and tries not to get hooked so much.
Yeah, Blitzcrank is very good if you're able to land the hooks, and you can, or even just hold the hooks to zone out the other team. But once you miss that hook, the other bot lane can just go really hard on you, especially with the extremely long cooldown of the Q.
Yep. So yeah, it's going to come down to Blitzcrank. But I mean, if there's any one player in this game we want to be putting that hook into, it would probably be Infiorescence, right? He's shown the ability to consistently land those skill shots and in the right place.
Yeah, I think you were saying this in the award ceremony earlier, but he's one of the really big support carries of this league, and we'll see if he is able to bring his team to the triumphant rise.
Yeah, we gotta keep reminding ourselves that this is for one of those once-in-a-lifetime skins that you guys are gonna be flaunting over the rest of us. Everyone's gonna want to play Rise from your team, and Rise sucks, so I don't know.
That's when you go for the all-for-one mode, and everyone just goes Rise.
Yeah, everybody's got Triumphant Rise. But hey, look, Abe, what are you using? Oh, Uncle Sam Rise? What a scrub. 50 more seconds getting into the game here. We're going to see how it turns out. We haven't heard either team kind of start jumping up and down excitedly yet, so I'm guessing it's been a relatively quiet early. This is going to be a pretty tense game, though. How do you think you deal with the kind of stress that comes with a championship game where everything's on the line?
I think the biggest thing is to just not let the nerves get to your play style, and when I think one of the biggest things is to have no hesitation in that split second, because a lot of the times when something's on the line, you won't go in for that kill because you're nervous that their team might be there or something like that, and you might get jumped on and die. But you really need to have that no hesitation that you usually have when you're playing like a game one in the series.
Yeah, you got to play it like any other normal game, right? And that's way easier said than done. But I guess we're going to find out right now which team is better at it as we load into the rift. This is so broken. It's on the other side now. Why? There's no rhyme or reason to this. Full screen. Yeah. All right, here we go. In terms of masteries, it looks like the Sonas have this easy. 3 masteries, only one on the other side. They're uncomfortable champions, you gotta give them that. But I'm a little surprised Crayon Box is over here.
Here we go into the game. And here we go into the game.
Apple, please. Okay, let's see if we have any level 1 shenanigans. Blitz is just infamous for being probably the single most devastating level 1 champion.
Yeah, especially with his grab. A lot of the times people don't want to burn flash level 1. So when you invade and throw out a hook, people generally won't flash it because they don't want to burn their flash so early on. And so generally when you can grab them in, they have to force. If you grab them and they have to flash it, they generally just go back to where they were before. And if you have other CC on your team, such as the Volley Bear flip back, you can really just get that early kill.
Yeah, I really don't like what the Sonas are doing here. They are not covering the most obvious path.
Yeah, I don't think they were expecting an invade. They don't really seem spread out across the map. You can see Vel'Koz is just sitting under tower.
Crayon Box is in that bush, meaning he's not covering the path behind him. He really needs to be in that intersection so that he can see both sides and force at least a flash out of Blitz if he wants to try and get that hook. As it stands, if they walk into that blue area, he's dead.
And
he's done.
They're going in.
Yeah, there's nothing he can do.
Crayon Box isn't even expecting
This is going to have to be a heck of a flash. And the pull. There we go. And that's a dead. Who's going to get it? Katarina. That is That is devastating.
That was also a very interesting spot for them to or for Udyr to stand in, because generally you want to go a little bit further out to see when the enemy team comes to invade, but he was kind of sitting under in the blue buff bush where you don't really have vision of that much at all. And as you see, you can't see if people come around the corner for an invade.
They also have full vision of this going on. I'm really surprised Shalom didn't move over to the other side of the level. They are, I mean, getting 3 buffed in today's game is not nearly as devastating as it was jungle.
Yes and no, because both. I think one of the biggest things that the buffs now give is not only the buff, but they give a big level advantage, or no, they help you level up a lot faster as a jungler than all of the other camps.
I think they're actually equal now, aren't they? Blue buff doesn't actually give you anymore.
I don't know.
Something like that.
Maybe I'm just out of it. But yeah, we see Shyvana not really reacting to the invade. Just going back to her blue buff. I think generally when someone invades your buff, you know most likely they'll go back to their. So for the blue side, if you know the red team invaded your blue, most likely they'll go to the red afterwards because they're not going to cross the entire side of the map. So I think a good thing junglers will do is that when your side gets invaded on, after you get your buff, you will go invade the other enemy jungle. That makes sense.
Yep. Definitely. All that's going to happen here is she's going to give up a camp advantage to Oliver, which is actually pretty bad as Shyvana, right? As Shyvana, you're looking really to farm up as fast as possible, get that Say to Devour as fast as possible. So you're probably going to see that manifest in a lot of attempted dragon control.
Yeah. So as from this, Volibear should probably get a bigger level lead ahead of Shyvana and be able to pressure a lot more. But another thing that's actually not that bad for the blue side is that Shyvana is not a very mana-intensive jungler, so the blue buff isn't as important to her as other junglers such as Moon.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't go for the greater jungle steal, but I guess they didn't really have a vision of Shyvana and Anya when she was Okay, so here is what we talked about was our featured matchup. It's been completely one-sided today with Crayon Box winning. Is Ken going to finally survive this top lane and not give up first?
He seems to be in a good place right now. He seems to be freezing in towards his turret, and with that, he should be able to farm pretty easily.
I'm actually surprised that Blitzcrank didn't go for the She exposed herself. And it looks like Cho'Gath can kind of hold his own.
It's getting a little dangerous though, because Cho'Gath's wave seems to be pushing now, and with it pushing forward, Udyr can get pretty aggressive.
Udyr with the flask, that's how the system
So with the turret or the minion pushing out, Udyr can just zone and off the minion wave.
Oh, the tower hit though!
Too many tower hits!
Oh! That was close. Any single other spell. And that Ignite advantage coming up huge again.
Here comes Volibear, but nothing.
Oh, he gets the hook! Thresh did not play around the hook after his flash. He goes down.
And Flores is really just showing that you just can't ban him out.
I mean, this game, it's consistent, right? The Ignite is again giving an advantage to Crayon Lux off top. And Infiorescence is just better experiences.
Yeah.
Playing on that.
I think at this point, if this were to go on to more games, I think it'd be a good idea for him to consider whether to go Ignite or not, because that gank up top, if he had Ignite, he would have traded kills. And with getting Teleport instead, he was just forced to use it to get back to lane.
The other thing we might consider is just early pressure. Udyr has been getting these kills pretty deep in Cho'Gath's lane without much warding. And you know he's going to go after it. That's the kind of player he is. He's going to come after you when he senses trouble. If they just stuck Volibear up there a little bit earlier, anticipating, that should swing the other way. But it's a little late to talk about that now. I guess it's already happened. So we'll see how it continues. He's come back with 2 fairy charms, which really is not going to help him a whole lot when fighting Crayon Box.
Yeah, I think Cho'Gath into Udyr is not the best matchup, especially because Udyr could use his E to run out of Cho'Gath's Rupture. And so he can dodge it pretty easily, and then once Cho'Gath misses Rupture, there's not much he can use to duel Udyr.
I know Ken to typically which actually is a pretty good tool against fighting Udyr because you're going to be in melee. He does a surprising amount of damage. Nobody really accounts for it. If you lean off of that's actually a lot of damage and a decent amount of tanky stats.
Yeah, I agree. Especially in this situation, it's probably the preferred thing to max first, with Q being so hard to land.
I'm curious about his Fairy Charms. What is that build? Double Fairy Charm to me.
It's probably a Chalice.
Says Chalice, but on Cho'Gath?
Yeah, it's a very interesting build, especially because the enemy team doesn't have that much AP damage in general. And with a Chalice, instead of something like a Rod, he's a lot less tanky and a lot more susceptible to being zoned out in the lane.
Alright, and Nav is doing another one of his famous lane games. We've gotten so much mileage out of this lane game throughout this series.
Yeah,
I don't think Sonas have learned their lesson. No one.
One thing that we should note though is that Cat's actually pressuring mid pretty hard too, which is pretty surprising. I think Vel'Koz has been getting very mana strange lately. Yeah. But that dive under turret's evening things up a little bit.
Barrier's not going to do that next time. Vel'Koz is wisely backing. Katarina needs to push this wave. Survive Shyvana and should be okay.
Yeah, again, this is pretty bad because Ken's having the lane pushed up. So especially with Ken backing right now, if Cranbox can just freeze the lane, you can get a huge CS advantage.
Yeah, this top lane not going well. It surprises me that they're not setting it up. It feels to me that Volibear should be moving out there. Udyr has not shown any semblance of self-preservation. He's always all the way up. No words.
I think Purple Side's probably taking a similar route that we did last game, where I think a lot of the times last game where Udyr came top, or no, Volibear came top, he wasn't able to convert a lot of kills because Cranbox was ahead, and now he's getting pretty far ahead. I think he's trying to pressure other lanes to get the other lane snowballing.
Oh, and Vel'Koz walks right past Volibear, misses his E, gets knocked out. Nav is in a bad spot though.
Cranbox forcing the flash.
That ult is coming out soon. Is the passive going to stay alive? The feast!
The nom nom nom.
Ken has no mana. But that counter, I didn't think Udyr was in danger of dying at all. Where did the damage come from? Did you see it?
I think most of it was Volibear throwing back into turret, and then Ken using his ult to just do true damage onto Udyr, which is actually a very good tool to help finish him off.
Yeah, that was huge. The tier on the Cho'Gath. What do you think of this?
Tier on the Cho'Gath is very interesting because I'm not sure how well he can stack it. With his Q and W being on a fairly long cooldown, it's pretty hard to spam that numerous amounts of times to get as many stacks.
I'd actually go a step further and say tier on the Cho'Gath is terrible. I mean, I guess Ken has been having mana troubles recently. I don't know, I guess without being able to farm consistently, he hasn't been able to utilize his passive to get that mana back. But still,
something like a Chalice probably would have been more useful, or just a Rod of Ages.
Yeah, a Rod of Ages definitely is a great first item.
I mean, here's
overextending again, just like the Jarvan.
This just seems to be a reoccurring problem, that Shyvana just seems to be on a different page than her team. It seems to just be going in a lot faster than her team can. And as I was saying earlier, Shyvana is just so mobile with her W that if she's not paying attention, she can just be way ahead of her team.
Ken is losing these trades. I can't get over this tier. What is he thinking about tier? There's nothing good about it. Rod of Ages is more than enough mana for the entire game.
And another thing that Volibear comes in for the gank, forces out the flash. Can they get him?
This is going to be dangerous. Ken's doesn't want to die, but the feast is going to go in.
It is. There we go.
He didn't have feast up. But we forget that the other guy came down too. So we've got a void monster and there's a pull. He's in danger. That dive can't happen with this correct. Not enough.
Yeah, so that gank up top is actually pretty essential, especially with this tier, because with this tier, generally even with champions that like build into tier, once you build it, you have to delay your damage till late game and you delay your tankiness too. So
and you're looking for that tier payoff, which for Cho'Gath is just not going to come, right? It's going to take him 40 minutes to stack it. He's not going to get that shield. Well, he might get some AP out of it later in the game, but there's just so many better sources for that AP. We're going to have to ask him about it after this game.
my boy Ken got a plan here.
I don't think he does. I think he misclicked or something. That's just terrible.
Yeah, well, so if that gank top didn't happen and Ken was still pretty far behind, not even the Rod of Ages, but just the Catalyst would not only give him the mana, but it would also give him health to help him better sustain the lanes.
Yeah, of all of his games, I don't think I've ever seen him go Rod of Ages. I don't know if he doesn't like that item or he doesn't value all the stats, but it feels like the logical choice in this case. Maybe he was afraid of the stacking time, he would have gotten pretty late Rod.
Something that's pretty concerning is that Cat's actually even up the CS with Vel'Koz
And a kill ahead.
and a kill ahead.
She's, again, got the first item on the board. Luden's Echo.
Yeah, especially with her Shumpo. Shyvana doesn't have a lot of CC, so she can't lock people down during their ganks. So it's pretty hard to gank a Cat mid because she can just Shumpo out whenever she needs to. She stays forever.
Shyvana also just not seeming to have a lot of impact on this game. So as she gets
out,
pulled,
but Volibear throws her out into the
Ash arrow. I don't think they have the damage.
And now they're all by themselves.
Vel'Koz arrives first. Katarina's here. Can she turn this fight around? Goes in for the ult. She's gonna get the reset on Rudy. She does. 1 kill. 2 kills. The reset's coming through. 3 kills and a
Cat's slowly getting ahead like last game.
triple kill on Ash. We didn't get the reset kills onto Katarina. The lady carry is probably my next favorite choice for all those kills to land on.
I think one of the biggest things about this blue side team is that they just don't have the CC to stop Cat when she goes in the hole. You saw in that team fight, Cat literally went in and had a full ultimate, just channeling it with uninterrupted.
Next to Udyr, the one guy that should be able to consistently stop her.
Yeah, and another big thing that happened during that fight was Ash was able to just sit in the back line the entire time, just get free auto attacks, and the entire time getting people low, allowing Cat to get the resets.
Well, it's looking pretty dark. 4K gold advantage, 14 minutes in. I know we keep talking about how ridiculous gold leads are, but this one is the biggest one we've seen yet. What are the Sonas paths back into this game?
Well, it's a lot harder now because the top lane doesn't have that big lead that they had last game. But I think one thing that I would like to see is Crayon Box being able to transition his little advantage over Ken right now into other lanes of the map. Because last game, one of the biggest problems was he got that lead, but his mid lane and bot lane were losing lanes, so he wasn't able to do much.
Are we sure he has a lead anymore? That trade looked heavily in Cho'Gath's favor. He still has Feast on.
Yeah, it seems
Crayon
like
Box is 1 Q away from dying.
Volibear's coming around the corner.
And that's it. Volibear picks up the kill. Ken's Feast missed by about 50 health or something like that.
Yeah, and one thing to note though is even though the Cho'Gath was behind early game and he's catching up now, he's slowly building up stacks. And once he gets to that 6 stacks late game, it's going to be pretty hard to kill him.
Yep, that's why the armor item translates so well and he naturally gets so much health. And we're seeing Fresh here, Battle Ghost, that's great. They can't. Ash just has so much damage.
That's the turret. Here comes Shyvana. Is she able to stop him?
Shyvana's gonna die if she goes through. No, Vel'Koz is behind him. Oh, that Vel'Koz damage, I guess that's still a thing. Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna see Volibear going straight for that spirit decision, especially after that. Are they gonna get Cho'Gath here? Knock some stack off? That'd be pretty huge.
Oh, slow.
That was critical.
The Cat's currently pushing mid. She's about to get the mid turret. I'm not sure if it was worth chasing that hard for the kill when they lost their mid turret for it.
I think the mid turret was probably the one right at that point. 2 kills. Yeah. That's a tough call. You gotta take your kills. But you're right. Now they're giving up a lot of man pressure on those turrets. the last thing you want is to be able to have a Katarina jump at it.
Yeah, Red Team's objective control seems pretty strong right now. They're able to get the turrets, and with these turrets on now, if they play correctly, they can pressure they can pressure lanes pretty effectively and hopefully get a little more turret objectives off.
Yep. I'd like to see them push that last turret and then probably get wards into the jungle. They can very easily starve this other team right now. If you're afraid to walk into the jungle, Katarina is volley there really matters the launch. That's pretty much game.
You're being able to just pushing up. I think one of the things that Blue Team needs to do when they're behind this much is group, because they seem to just be playing standard lanes, but they're missing turrets and they're behind. But just playing standard is not going to get you back into the game. They need to do something big like group for objectives.
But the tough part about grouping, you're grouping into the Katarina, so they're just stuck between a rock and a hard place right now. I don't really know what they should do. We'll see what they do now.
Yeah, I'd really like to see them start building this. It seems like, again, they're not building that much magic with this to deal with this cat. And with this cat slowly starting to get ahead, I'd really like to see like an Aegis to help lock down a lot of the damage. This Aegis is such a strong item with the AoE magic resist to all your teammates.
Yeah, and that'll be absolutely crucial. If Katarina can get resets on her own, she's on her way to just 1v5 in your team, even without the fact that her Ashe goes so far over through. And she's got to go to tank. Shot goes away.
Goes away, and
there's the arrow engage. Ashe is playing
She holds in.
Shyvana engages. Vel'Koz is too far away. Udyr goes down trying to follow the engagement. There's Cho'Gath in the back.
Around the corner to cut him off, and that's 3 for none.
Clean kills.
Let's see what the red team can do with this lead.
Blue team's really tilting around here. That was way too good. The only way you're going to get back into the game like this is to take fights up
Get caught out.
home. That was a beautiful rupture by Cho'Gath, and Blitzcrank knew exactly what to do with it.
Caught both of them.
Yeah, I mean,
It seems like they're going to get this mid turret off of it.
we have to talk about the fact that the league was too much last game. Because that opened up Ken's favorite champion, Cho'Gath. I mean, besides dying to he's been performing those ruptures.
Yeah, and as you can see, like, even when manning out Leona, he goes blitz. And it seems to be just working just as effectively as last game.
Yeah, and like in game one, it was painfully obvious they were missing their veteran leader, so to speak. I think one of them described it to me as running around as like a headless chicken without James lineup. But that
Seems to be paying off.
yeah, and you can hear they're definitely more vocal too. It's really dangerous in their range too. Everything goes silent.
Yeah, I think it's really hard because, especially towards that last game, you start feeling a lot of the pressure and you're afraid to make calls sometimes because things can go wrong.
Right, and when it's obvious when things are going right, it's just so much easier.
Yeah, however, especially when you're behind, you really need people to talk to know exactly what to do. Because if you don't do anything, you're just going to fall through.
Oh! James went for the home run play, trying to pull Shyvana out of the air. He just barely misses. Oh, Katarina went for that 1v5 play we were talking about, but the exhaust comes right in time. Shyvana gets the shutdown. It's pretty good. But this team fight's going to be good. Next. Too much damage.
That was another thing was another time where just communication didn't seem to be together, where Cat was going in while this whole other team was doing Dragon.
I think he's been listening to us talk him up a little bit too much. He thought he could actually 1v5.
Yeah, that thing.
Exhaust has a way to shut that guy.
The red team was able to, because they had such a big lead, like they were able to fight
And he did get non-trivial damage. But let's see if they get their first dragon with that advantage.
Yeah, and so one of the biggest things is we've been talking about this Cat a lot, but this Ashe is 8 out. She's really starting to build a lead, and Ashe, once she gets to late game, she can do massive damage.
Blitz ult! To be fair, it is a 1.9 AP ratio. He hasn't built an AP, but... Hey, taking that kill. No, Not going to get anything out of it. Got the Caitlyn flash out of it. I mean, look at the difference. Infinity Edge Phantom Dancer versus components for Infinity Edge.
Yeah, he's starting to build towards other things too. We'll see how well he can use this lead to finish out the game.
Yeah, the item advantages at this point might just be too much. We've also got Luden's Death Cap against Luden's Chalice. Not even Athene's, just Chalice. Volibear's gotten that Spirit Visage, so the only threat on the map to him, Vel'Koz, is neutered a little bit. And his passive is going to heal for him for half a second. This is looking pretty good for the Sonas.
I think the blue team seems to be moving towards the right direction in trying to get back in the game, though, by making those plays like they did today. And a lot of, besides Shyvana getting caught out, there's a lot of blue, when you look at the map, there's a lot of blue wars. And if they're able to catch people out, they should be able, they might have a chance to get back in the game, but it seems like, again, they're just, people just seem to be pushing out and playing by themselves and getting caught out.
Yeah, I mean, you have to get, that Vel'Koz ult was awesome.
He's able to slowly catch up.
Yeah, that Vel'Koz ult turned this
Can
around.
he pick up the Ashe?
Geometry, no.
Oh, he forced Ashe to walk down.
Yeah, that was a very smart play, zoning with that spell, even if it doesn't land.
And that was pretty big. Now Vel'Koz is starting to get ahead with being 5-2, and he got the shutdown goal from Ashe.
Yeah, you've got to put the fear into the other team, right? It's really easy to be coordinated when the coordinated call is always going to be everybody in. But if as Vel'Koz, you can tell them, hey, if you're all going to come to the same place, we're going to go. That makes shot calling for the other team just that little bit harder. So we'll see if they can get advantage of that.
And they seem to be going for the Volibear, but I'm not sure if that's a great idea.
Yeah, Volibear with that chilling smite, just too much speed.
Yeah, plus I think the purple team is building pretty tanky too, so as it gets towards later in the game, it's going to be harder and harder to kill them. Harder and harder to get these picks that the blue team needs in order to get back in the game.
Blue team now needs to absolutely reload Sonas. I don't think they can be making any more aggressive plays. They've got to let the play come to them, which means no distance, very good vision control, and possibly just waiting for them to siege towers.
Yeah, so another thing I noticed is that Breath actually picked up the Aegis now. I know I was giving the blue team pretty hard time about it, but they finally picked it up, and I think they're moving in the right direction to getting back into this game.
Yeah, it would be interesting if they can come back into it. But we'll see. In my opinion, this lead is still the enemies around.
Big thing here is that blue team seems to be split up. Shyvana's all the way behind, but
Ashe also isn't here.
Red team doesn't seem to be going one to go for the fight.
Yeah, and Ashe arrow here picks whoever it hits off. Blitzcrank is hovering close enough. Let's see if she throws it out. They are gonna be under tower in a second. I mean, they're gonna be a little bit worried about that siege because of what just happened.
Yeah, one of the big things is the purple team doesn't have.
Oh, the flash hook! Grabs the perfect target. He takes down Vel'Koz.
Instantly shut down the biggest member of the blue team.
And their only hope as well, Caitlyn sitting on just an Infinity Edge gets popped up.
They can get the ace.
Well, we know this isn't quite the game, but this has to be at least an inhibitor. It's a clean ace. 25 minutes.
Yeah, one of the biggest strengths about the red team is that although they don't have a lot of AoE CC, they can lock down one target really well with the Blitz, the Ashe, the Cho'Gath. So if one person gets caught out, they can just finish them instantly like they did with Vel'Koz and just win the team fight off of that.
Is this an overstay?
It seems like it. The blue team's about up any second.
Are there home guards on the other team? Maybe not. They're pretty economically starved. Yeah, no.
They should be able to get out safely.
Okay, it looks like they've got some waves to clean up. Dragon coming up in a minute 30. Dragon hasn't been a factor. 2 dragons so far. Doesn't look like they're going to make it to 5.
Red team's turret.
Yeah, I'd really like to see this when this next dragon come up to see if they can trade the dragon for something like a turret because they really need to start getting objectives. They're behind 5 turrets currently, and that's around like 5K.
Let's talk about Infurious for a second. Clear finals MVP, right? I mean, barring something miraculous happening and Sonas coming all the way back, the LeBlanc team just night and day.
Yeah, it's really great to see something like a support carry, especially because supports being able to carry is something that's
Yeah, I mean it's been a stated goal of Riot that they want. I mean they gave supports a lot more money. They gave them a lot more items and a lot more interesting choices. Point righteous glory. There's another pull underneath. He does not have to
get the hook on Cat.
He had
But there's
E
no
somehow.
follow-up on it. And now it's the three of them by themselves without the rest of their team.
How did Cat still have E to get out? He should be dead. I thought he was engaged.
And blue team went in with only 3 members, while the red team had all their whole team there.
Once again, Blitzcrank just starting things up. His team has the easiest job in the world. Just follow the blitz hooks. And they've been doing a great job of it. This is another inhibitor, you think? I guess Ken doesn't think so. This is a little bit dangerous. Shimano applying some damage. Ken goes down. He stayed in there a little bit too long. Meteor gets on top of him.
But Cat's able to clean up that kill, or Volibear's able to clean up that kill, and they're able to get out. But the blue team were able to hold off the inhib turret for a little bit longer.
The Sonas have only lost one other game this season. And it was with Crayon Box on Ribbon, and he did not do well. I don't think he knows how to build it. He's built damage as if he was ahead, but he's just not going to get anywhere unless he's strictly cleaning up. Cap can insta-burst him, he has no ammo, no help. Ash can probably kill him. Where do you think he goes from here with his item choices?
It's pretty hard to be effective. He's 2 and 10 right now. It's pretty hard to be effective with Veer since playing the game. Because especially with something like Ash and Cat, you can just jump back, kite back if you need to, and the Veer can't do as much damage to you as he needs to finish you off.
I think at this point, even just standing there face tanking, Ash probably wins that fight. Infinity has run their first Banner Dancer, that's a lot.
Yeah, so we see the punish of this build because he built pretty greedily and just built like straight up damage without any tank items. And when he's getting so far behind,
he's getting caught again. He's playing like he's ahead.
Yeah,
there's no adjustment.
So if you build this full damage build and then you get behind, you can't really do much because you can't get to the backline without getting bursted.
Yeah, his team really needs to stay around Gotham right now. He's currently a stun off of those guys. He needs to keep them off of him. She's the only one that can get their protection.
Yeah, it seems like they're going to get this free Baron. Both Kane, Thresh, or Volley, they seem to just be giving this one up.
Wow, Blitzcrank with the BM. I can't even yell at him because he's not here in the room. But you're a little taunt there. Oh, is he going to get this? Flash hook? No! That's the first miss I've seen. I like the follow-up. Did you see the chokeout rupture even though the team land?
Yeah, it was
trusted
really
it.
good. You gotta trust in your teammates. And I think one of the things that I really like in Fluorescence is that, I was talking about this earlier, is that there's no hesitation. This is game 3, this is their backs against the wall, and he's not afraid to just flash, grab the enemy team.
Yeah, 2-1-21. That is a 23 KDA. I mean, I don't even know what to say about that. 3-minute timer, guys. And then we all get to go
If you don't know what's gonna happen.
Alright guys, we're gonna start a pool right now. How many kills are gonna happen between now and the end of the game? Let's go. Shout out numbers. Is anyone bad?
Can you get the hook over the wall?
Yo, you guys are blocking the screen. Alright, red team setting up. Ooh, and another awesome grab on the Udyr. No, he gets punished for it. There goes his KDA. Play around the Melkons, guys. I mean, it's too late now. Let your carries carry. Well, that probably stalled the game out for 2 minutes, but that explains why I did end 2 minutes early.
Yeah, the blue team seems to be turtling pretty hard into their base. I don't think they can beat them without getting caught out by the
Alright, come on guys, push it in.
Seems like my boy can't have that massive plan with that tier.
Ken, did you hear me talking about your tier choice? Did you hear me talking about your tier choice?
Master Cho'Gath build.
I
Why?
gotta learn how to play guys now.
Why did you build tier?
I wanted some magic resist, but
You wanted some magic resist, so you built tier?
Yo, wait.
It was Chalice too expensive?
Chalice was too expensive.
Chalice is too expensive.
Why do you not build Roa on Cho'Gath?
Yeah, look, he's sitting on the setup. He's not. Oh, and
He's not. It's not even transformed. It's 32 minutes into the game. His first item tier is not transformed.
wait, does it stack if you want to? No, it doesn't. That's why I couldn't. I forgot. I was like, oh, cheers, good. I think, and then I just spelled it. It turned out to be the shittiest item ever.
Yo.
Tier is fully stacked.
But 12, 1 and 12.
Just getting almost there.
Yo, you guys better band up and buy James dinner before he leaves. That's gotta happen. He just made you guys like $20 each. Triple kill from the couch. What can I kill still? Alright, this looks like a good push. And our 2015 Summer Rumble Box Champions are the Rocks. Congratulations.
Third seed all the way. Both the second and the first seed. It's pretty impressive.
And that wraps up our season. Thanks everyone for participating. Thanks everyone for coming and staying for the event. Land of Legends in 2 weeks, Tuesday after work. V-Money. Make sure you're on the mailing list and stuff for that.
When do you get an RP?
We'll report to Riot on Friday, so you'll get it next week.
How do I turn this off?